Hey guys, I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. You know, the snowpocalypse may have slowed it down, but in the end, the dog always prevails. The HTC Inspire 4G, I've been waiting for it for a couple days, and it's finally here. And you know, for those people that like the Evo look and feel, this is pretty similar. It's a revised look, the design's different, and it looks a lot like the Desire HD, which you know was announced last year in Europe now. And I remember when I saw it at CTIA, I was like, this is a hot device. It looks great. I can't wait to see it in the US. Well, AT&T people, as of February 13th, it's yours. It's $99.99, 1 gigahertz processor, 4.3-inch display, 8 megapixel camera. It's a well-spec device, and it's only $99.99, so when you think about it, $99.99 for an Inspire, or $99.99 for something like a Click 2. So it's priced well, and you know, it's one of those AT&T strategies to move away from the iPhone. But enough of that, you didn't come to see me. Let's take a look at the unboxing. HTC Inspire 4G. Let's check it out. Here it is, the HTC Inspire 4G on AT&T. It's nice to finally see another high-end Android device besides the Captivate, and it's nice to kind of see that Evo look and feel. You know, I'm a big fan of the Evo, so it's nice to see it, at least in some form. You know, the design's obviously different, and the look is different, but you know, that Evo kind of build quality and that 4.3-inch display on another carrier. It has a 1 gigahertz processor, Snapdragon processor, Android 2.2, 4.3-inch display, 8 megapixel camera, and the differences between it and the Evo, you know, it doesn't have a front-facing camera, whereas the Evo does, but it's running the newer version of HTC Sense, HTC Sense 2.0, and it's actually the only device in the US right now at launch to support HTC Sense 2.0. So, yeah, it's nice to see on a device in the United States. Europe's had it for some time, but it's a cool feature. I'm excited to show it to you. I'm not really going to spend a lot of time in the unboxing because honestly, they all come with the same stuff: AC adapter module, USB cable, instruction manuals, safety and regulatory guide, etc. So that, you know, there's the box part. I really want to go over some of the new features of Sense and what this device looks like on AT&T. Here's the build quality. You can see, I mean, absolutely gorgeous. And I got to tell you off the record, you know, I love the way this device looks. When the Desire HD came out, and I saw it at CTIA fall last year in San Francisco, I was like, this device is hot. I hope it comes to the US. This would be a great device on AT&T or on T-Mobile, and it finally has. So, you know, I absolutely love this device. Love the way it feels. It's like a thinner version of the Evo. Some say it's too bulky. I really don't think it's that bulky, but, you know, they've migrated some of the things down to the bottom, like the 3.5mm headphone jack, the micro USB charging port, and then on the back, your typical camera and your flash, excuse me. Back's a little bit different. It's a metal unibody construction with, you know, a slot here for your battery, and then down here for your SIM card and for your micro SD card as well. So you can see that in here, 8 gigabyte micro SD card out of the box. Of course, the SIM card slot, and that's easy enough to remove. Now, where I really had an issue trying to remove this, and it's kind of funny because this is literally the hardest battery door I've ever had in my life. There's a little slot here, as you can see on the left, right beside the volume rocker, where you can pop your fingernail in and try to get it off. I'm not having a lot of success, ouch, a lot of success with it. Oh, there it goes. And you can see the battery. Now, this is a big issue for me because, you know, this is, according to the specs, this is a 1,230 milliamp battery. Okay on Windows Phone 7. That's actually what the HD 7 has as well. So, you know, you think, okay, you know, it doesn't multitask. It's still bad battery life. But for an operating system that multitasks, I'm a little worried that 1,230 milliamps just isn't going to cut it. I mean, in comparison, the Evo's battery is 1,500 milliamp. And, you know, for those Evo users, you know, I'm sure you can go to the forums or they'll tell you, if you have friends that have Evos, battery life isn't the best in the world. So it'll be interesting to see over, you know, the course of a couple of days how the battery life holds up. But I mean, in terms of build quality, it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, I prefer the build quality to the Evo. It's kind of that evolutionary step that HTC's taking. You know, you look at the earpiece of this one, and then the earpiece of something like the HTC Evo Shift, and you can see it's that kind of next generation HTC design. Absolutely beautiful. 4.3-inch display, high resolution, and then you have your typical capacitive buttons right here below the display. So like I said, it's powering up, and actually, you know, this is the first time I've seen this thing powered up. When we saw it at CES, HTC didn't want us to put the battery in. They just wanted us to see the build quality of the device. So if you remember my video, you've seen the build quality, but let's take a look at what's on the inside. As I said, it's running HTC Sense 2.0. You can see at the bottom there of the dock the little kind of paint icon. That's new to HTC Sense 2.0. Well, let's look at the applications a little bit. You know, you have your typical Adobe Reader. You have Asphalt 5. You have all the AT&T stuff, Family Map, Code Scanner, Navigator. You have this little cool thing called Blocked Callers, which is neat. And you can see, you know, you can add callers. Pretty self-explanatory, but, you know, kind of a cool feature. And then you have some typical HTC stuff, but you'll see little things if you're an HTC Sense fan, like they changed the footprint ID, They've changed, and these are two new things actually, to HTCSense.com. Now on HTC Sense 2.0, it syncs with HTCSense.com. There are a lot of cool features. I'm actually going to go over that in the review because it would take too long in the unboxing to cover that. So that's something to look forward to in the review. But you have my AT&T, a couple of other little things. This has a Wi-Fi hotspot. It is capable of doing mobile hotspot stuff up to 5 devices. So keep that in mind. First AT&T device both to support HSPA Plus, which is their 4G right now, and to have mobile hotspot capabilities out of the box and officially supported by AT&T. YP Mobile pre-installed as well. But the biggest thing for me I like about Sense 2.0 is you have the ability to customize a lot more than you did even in the older versions of Sense. So let's open this up, for example, and you can see this is what it looks like. Let's go to Skin, and much like the MyTouch 4G, which isn't running 2.0, but it's kind of running a modified build of the older version of Sense, you can select between different dock looks. So you can see blackboard, wood, slate. Almost said Blackbeard. That would be a pirate. That would not be blackboard. Slate. So let's click Slate, for example. You can apply it, and then you'll see the color scheme changes up here at the top, and then the dock changes at the bottom as well. So it looks cool. It's nice to see the customization options on this device as well. Now let's take a look at the notifications bar. You can see, first of all, H Plus up there, and I have to give them kudos over T-Mobile because this is an HSPA Plus market. So it's nice to look at that and be like, okay, I'm browsing on HSPA Plus as opposed to just typical 3G. I do have the actual icon. With T-Mobile, it's just H across the board. You never know if you're on HSPA Plus or standard 3G. But on the new version of HTC Sense, you have this little bar here you can see where, as you open things, it'll load the icons and you can scroll back and forth for easy access to the stuff you've already opened. And then, of course, your notifications pop up right there. And you can see you have your typical 7 home screens here. Very similar icons and very similar widgets. Let's take a look at actually and see if there are any widget changes. Let's have a look. And you can see it sends you to that centralized. This is actually my first time playing with Sense 2.0, so I'm sorry if I'm a little bit slow at it. This is, like I said, first time. You can browse all HTC widgets. You can get more HTC widgets. And this is kind of that strategy that they have with HTCSense.com. It's kind of your one-stop shop, and we're going to do a video review of that as well in the coming days. So keep that in mind. We'll have an HTC Sense review so you can kind of see the synchronization between the phone and the computer. So bookmarks, calculator, calendar, all the same stuff here. Looks to be about the same. No new widgets. Tips, that's a different one. But other than that, everything's pretty much the same there. But I like this kind of personalization menu, if you will, where you can change the scene, you can change the wallpaper. There are new wallpapers on this device. I'm kind of a nerd, so that excites me, but it may not excite you. But you can see some of the new wallpapers. Hey, it's the little things that count, right? And then all the old HTC wallpapers. So we can bring up something like, let's do this one, which I think is what you see in the commercial for this device. But I happen to like it. So you can see we can scroll back over, and a couple new wallpapers, but otherwise, an experience that's pretty similar to the Evo. Now, one thing I will say, just in the time I've been scrolling through it right now, no lag whatsoever. It has that 1 gigahertz processor, and it's super fast. We'll have to do some testing, speed tests, all that stuff will come in the review. But I'm having no lag issues whatsoever. It's nice and fast. Let's take a look real quick and see if it allows you to sideload applications. And here's what the settings look like. You can see that they've changed a little bit. A few more options, and then AT&T software update is installed for those times, I guess when it goes to Gingerbread or some of the future versions of Android. And then you can also update HTC Wi-Fi when the software update is needed. Now you can't, that's what I thought, you can't install non-Android market applications, at least from the phone. And then the other question I had that I want to see if we can answer, can you uninstall the AT&T stuff? I'm sure you probably can't, but we'll take a look. Yeah, AT&T Family Map, it's not allowing you to uninstall it. So all that AT&T stuff, you're kind of stuck with it on your device. Let's take a look at Blockbuster. Yeah, it looks like you're stuck with that too. So that's the unfortunate thing. It does take up a little bit of memory with some of those applications that you may or may not use. But then you have Fast Boot on here, which is cool. So you can, turn the device off, turn it back on, and it boots up within a few seconds. So be sure to keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of the HTC Inspire 4G. I'll have the unboxing video up shortly, and then in the coming days, I'll have the HTC Sense 2.0 video, the 720p video recording sample video, and the review up
on the site as well. So keep it locked on the site for those. Be sure to like us on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. You know, we gave away our iPads, but we're doing a lot of other exciting giveaways in the coming days and in the coming weeks. So be sure to like us. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Follow me on Twitter as well. PhoneDog_Aaron, just like you can hear all those tweets coming in on TweetDeck right now. And as always, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile. They've hooked us up with 2 of these so we can give them to you in the One Paw Bandit game. When you buy this at Best Buy on the 13th, it's going to be $99.99. No messy paperwork, no mail-in rebates. That's super cool. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.